So it's fantastic to be with you at the end of this program.
Yeah.
So your starting weight was 69 kg. What's your current weight now?
It was actually 70.1 we starting.
Okay, that's even more.
So it's a 59.9 now.
That's really good, and that's a bit, that was just the continuity of the consistency of what you were doing. You sort of were taking everything on board. About your waistline as well. So what was your starting waist?
It was 93.
93. That's good. And where's your current waist now?
85.
That's really good. It's not actually that long. If you think about the time frame of that to make those changes, and as well, like and I suppose as well, you sort of a slightly different entity of like what other people do. Like some people are starting a lot higher up on the weight scale, so you weren't looking at shifting, like 50 kg, 40 kg, but you can see you've still made those sort of big changes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's I mean. When I started, I was asked like, what number are you going for? And I was like, well, probably like 65, 63 would be good. But I had no idea where that number came from. It was just a number that I've been at previously, when I've tried losing weight. Yeah. And when I've got to that number, I've kind of stopped there thinking, yeah, this feels all right now. And then tried to go into the whole muscle thing, and it's always fallen apart. And then the weight has crept back up again. But this time, it just kept going. But I could see actually, it wasn't like it was too much weight. It felt brilliant. I feel amazing. I've not seen 50s in the, I don't know, but I'll be honest, decades. It's got to be decades since I've seen the 50s.
And the thing is, and I think that's the big thing as well, is like it's how you feel. Obviously, inevitably, everyone looks for the aesthetic, don't they? They look at, like the waist measurement.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think, the big shift that came for me was the fact that this was purely a fat loss program, not muscle building. I've never been able to separate those two things. Whenever it's been about losing weight, it's been about, yeah, I'm going to lose weight by being muscly, and because you have that stupid concept of, the fat will turn into muscle, which we know isn't scientifically possible, but you still end up, you hear it so many times over the years, it ends up sinking in, even though you should know better. And then so that's why it was like, I don't care. I'm not. There was a couple of times when I was like, am I losing too much weight? And then I had to remind myself, no, it's a fat loss program. And there is fat, even though I was not morbidly obese by any means. At the same time, I'm a small guy, so 70 kg on my frame was enough to make me feel not very good at all, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is that once you and I think the initial motivation obviously for people to start the program, but I think once people start to feel better, I always say most people feel better like the first sort of few days of sort of change and making those tweaks, and obviously so that I find that's the initial feeling, but then that sort of leads to motivation because you think, well, I feel really good, and then obviously then as soon as you start to see numbers on top of that going in the direction you want, that obviously then reinforces that motivation to go further. So that was your aim to accomplish, and so why did you sort of want to get to that weight? Was it just purely just to feel better or just look a certain way?
Yeah, well, it was essentially just to, look certain, because it had got to the point, like, you're wearing clothes and it was just sticking out, it was just looking horrible. And you convince yourself it's not sticking out that much. And then someone takes a photo, like a family photo, and you start there and you're thinking, bloody hell, I look like a mess. You know what I mean? That the lump is so obvious. And it wasn't just, aesthetics. It's the fact that, you're feeling a certain way. You just, you feel yourself carrying it. You know what I mean? And it impacts you in so many different ways. And sometimes, even like, I don't consider myself a person with low confidence or self-esteem by any means. You know how you have like a group of friends, there's always that one who's like the loudest. That's me, basically. But actually, with the change that's occurred with 12 weeks, I can't believe that actually it's like psychologically and mentally where I was a bad place. It was a bad place, a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of negative feelings, just a loss of drive. Even though I didn't think there was a loss of drive, being able to think clearly, like, not performing at the levels I perform at work, but finding excuses or reasons as to why that must be the case. It's got to be the way work's set up. It's the way this guy's working. Basically, anything but me. Do you know what I mean? And just that change in diet, it's just it's mad.
Sometimes you can make these small changes, but those can actually inevitably become big changes because they knock on to other areas of like health and work. Even I've known a lot of people here, they've become more productive with their work.
Exactly.
So their business is improved as a result of
I got a new job.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I went and applied for it. I was like, hang on a minute, what am I even doing in this job? I mean, like, this is not the right job for me to be in. And these are the reasons. And it's not that it wasn't just me, there was an element of me, but I was like, actually, there's a reason why it's happening. I need to go get myself another job here. And I have done. I've secured myself a role, a really good one. And it's just that. It was just this boost. I almost can't explain it. Like, there's this bizarre, this switch just went back, and I feel like I used to feel way back when, like when I was full of drive and energy, and I just had this slump. And I just can't believe how much nutrition has just, added to that. And the fact that I'm wearing clothes that are my normal size, because that was always a thing. Like, like when you're a small guy, you wear small, right?
Yeah.
But then you buy mediums because that's the only thing that fits over your belly.
Yeah.
And then so it fits. So it starts, it's fitting wrong on the shoulders. It's long on the arms. All around it just looks a little bit shabby.
Yeah, and it's just easier to buy clothes, isn't it? Just easier, like you said, just to buy.
You're buying larger clothes because you can't wear your small one because it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
It's literally not comfortable. And then I just pulled out. I put on a shirt in these last couple of weeks. I haven't worn that shirt for years, man. It's an extra small from Zara, right?
Wow.
Oh, fat face, sorry. And I'm like, and it just looks good. I'm like, do you know what I mean? I'm standing there. I'm not holding nothing in, and it's just.
That's really good.
And that's why, because I refused to go. I was like, I'm not buying the larger clothes. I'm not doing this. I'm not going. I'm stuck, and I'm going to fit into these clothes. That was my aim. It's just been great, honestly, Colin. Like I said to you, clarity of thinking, clarity of understanding what I'm doing, the aims that I've got, clear aims. You guys, you gave me a workout to do body weight, but then we switched it to gym because I suddenly felt like I want to go to gym. I'd stopped going. Like, there was no motivation to go. Like, it's just stupid, the same crap every day. Nothing's happening.
I've seen people like over a year, like just being members of gyms and stuff, and you can see people going.
They're lifting with massive bellies. Yeah, they're lifting ridiculous weight. I'm like, dude, look, a mess.
And I sort of see it.
Obviously, I don't say it to them. It's just the way the industry's led us, isn't it?
Yeah.
1st of January, everyone get a gym membership because you're going to get in shape. Well, no, that's the last. January 1st, what you want to be doing is sorting your nutrition out.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. If you really want a New Year's, new start kind of thing.
And I think this, and it is that thing. So, look, now you're joining the gym, you're getting so much more out of the gym now because of where you're at. So, whereas if you'd have joined it and not done the program, you might have just, might have done a little bit, but you might not have got anywhere near what you're going to get out of it in the future as well.
Like, you even start to there's something like the positive thinking element, like when you're carrying weight around and you're getting older as well. So, I'm in my 40s a year, right? So you start thinking, I'm in my 40s. Well, I can't do what I used to do. Can't do what these young lads are doing. I need to shift from weights to machines. Maybe just body weight, maybe just spinning bike actually. You start scaling everything back because you start telling yourself you can no longer do this because you've passed a point. As if that's a thing. And then suddenly now with this whole change of mindset and nutrition, it's just like, what am I on about, man? I've still got the energy because it's all come flooding back. It's literally like this. This is what I keep saying. It's a massive boost, and I keep saying this that I can't believe I've done this by increasing the number of meals I'm eating. I went through the 1 meal, 2 meal thing. One of them's going to be a shake, and the other one will be a solid meal. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense. It's just nutritionally complete meals. That's what you need in your life.
And it's just that unsustainability that so many people again fall into the trap of.
Yep. Up, down. Yep.
Yeah, and just, and as well, I always think if people have got the willpower to go, I don't know, you look at like the Cambridge diet, or you're drinking like a green smoothie that like you can't even smell it, let alone drink. But if you've got the willpower to do that, the willpower just to eat well is easier, isn't it? I don't know. It just, that's the mindset.
Like, I know what to do. Like, it's not like this is the meal I have to have in order to continue to lose weight. No, this is the type of meal I have to have, and that type can consist of whatever ingredients I want.
Yeah.
As long as it meets those nutritional elements.
That's really good. That's it. So you can see, like you said, you've got to the point where you're in that control. You're comfortable where you're at as well.
Yeah.
Which again makes a big difference. That's the idea. You want to get to the end where you're going to continue this beyond. So you don't yo-yo. You just literally just go. You get where you want to get, and you just pretty much stay around that area the whole time. And you've got good energy. You feel good. You get ill less often. You look the way you want to look. And that's the thing where people need to sort of think about getting. They want to get to a point where you don't always have to lose. Oh, I've got to lose 20 kg.
I'm going on holiday. Got to lose some weight. What is that, man?
Yeah, I've heard that a few times over the last 20 years.
I like that. What a week! Like,
I've got to lose 8 stone. I've got a holiday in 2 weeks.
This is for yourself, man. Not the flipping holiday.
And that's the thing. And as well, like even when people go away, it's just obviously with the portion control and things like that. It's just so good to
portion control. Colin, that was like that was the thing.
Yeah.
That first week.
Yeah.
Where the only task for the first week was to take pictures of your food. Right? Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like, what have I signed up to here? These guys just gonna do me over here. I was like, so I started taking pictures of food, but it's just as a tool, it's amazing. And because we live where we live and we have the lives that we lead, excess is just normal.
Yeah.
You go into takeaways. What's the special triple burger? Look at this. The burger and the chicken burger in one and all that business. What is this world of excess and the abundance of sweet shops with waffles at the size of car tires?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to eat that much. And then when I started, with the guide that you guys give, like, you don't feel bloated, don't feel hungry, just feel right.
Yeah, I think
what have I been doing all this time? Like, you just so, and because it's the habit, isn't it? And it's become the mindset. And it's not that it's all over, it's so pervasive. Everywhere you go to someone's house and they put food in front of you, they're putting that much food in front of you, and they're all eating loads.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you're right. So I've had, during my program, what have I had? We've had Ramadan.
Yeah.
So, when you have the iftar meal, whether it be at home or in the mosque, you just ate. You was mindful of what I'm eating. We've had Eid, obviously, and it was that thing of like, I'm eating a little bit here and I'm a little bit there. It's like, oh, are you done? Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. Like, you don't want any more? No, I'm full, thanks. But if you say it in such a way that you're not making them feel bad, it's like, no, thank you very much. Because I tried something of everything. There's none of this, oh, do you know what? Yeah, I'm watching what I'm eating, so I'm not going to eat this dish you put in. This dish, because that's the major thing. None of this cutting out business, because I've tried that, and you're cutting out stuff you like, and it just plays on your mind. After a while, you're like, sod this, man. I'm eating that flipping chocolate bar's going down. No, but now you eat it and there's zero guilt, because you're like, this is fitting in with my portion, my nutritional element for the day. Nice little treat there. It's not going to take me over. And in approach to soft drinks. Soft drinks with the devil, they're going to kill you. No, just have a sugar-free soft drink if that's what you really feel like. It's all good. You get to certain points, like Adam has mentioned recently, when you're on like the muscle building course, if you're trying to cut in certain ways, you may have to do an action which is not sustainable, but it's for a defined period of time to achieve a certain aim. Yeah. Makes sense, because there are parameters around that. It's very achievable because there's a solid aim there, and it's going to end at some point, and you then can carry on. But it's not this open-ended, like, just going to eat salads. Like, for how long? I don't know, like till I've lost 30 kilograms or whatever. And then what? Then I'm going back on ice cream. It's like, like,
and is that yeah.
It's moderation, and that's the thing, and it's so all the way through, like you told, like it's minimalist, like it's so simple, but like you just have to go through this to understand it really. And this is what I mean about just the life-changing aspect of it. Like the weight, to be honest, the weight loss to me has just become secondary. The numbers don't even mean nothing.
Yeah.
It's everything else is brought in life, because it's like I said, it's rejuvenated my career, it's rejuvenated my way I am with people. In my voluntary work, like we were in a bit of a rut. All of us as a team got to a bit of a rut, and now I'm just like, what the heck, man? I'm having all these ideas. I've got that thing about me again, to keep going, because I just feel good. When I'm walking with I'm just holding myself straighter. Do you know what I mean? Like, because there's not this, like I said, I didn't think I had a confidence or self-esteem issue, but actually, if you think about, do you know what I mean? Like when you're overweight and you're overweight, like it manifests itself. And when you walk, there's a way you walk. You don't hold yourself properly. I'm wearing this shirt, which I know is a little bit tight for me, but it's the only shirt that I've got to look smart in. And then you sat there, you're feeling uncomfortable in your chair because your buttons are popping and whatever, and it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then that impacts, even if you are someone who's a high flyer, that's going to impact the way you deliver something.
Yeah.
So all this stuff, and like I said, the numbers are just not even there now. Like this concept, some people say to me, like, dude, like what are you doing losing weight? Like you didn't have any weight to start with. I'm like, well, that's your perception, but I know what I had. I know where I'm going. Because the general perception of being overweight is to be vastly overweight. Unless you're really, really overweight, people don't think, you're overweight. And then it's, again, it's like everything's individual. Everyone's 70 kg to a 6'5" guy, fair enough. But a 5'5" guy, 70 kg is a big deal. Do you know what I mean? So these things, but also because I was stressing, like I'm going really low, and like I want to put muscle on, and I need to put it back on. Like no, you're doing a fat loss program, you're going to lose your fat. Second step, that's where the muscle building will come, and if the weight comes back on, it'll be in the form of muscle, and it'll be healthy. My body will hold it well. So just knowing all these things just is massive, Colin. Honestly, I may struggle to like really fully explain it. I've got a friend of mine joined the course.
Yes.
I spoke to him because he dropped some hints about like he was losing weight, and I was like, dude, like on the side, I messaged him, like we said it in our group of friends, and I thought, no, you know what friends are like, they all start taking the piss, don't they? Just out of general, because that's just what guys do, don't we? So on the side, I messaged him and said, look, dude, if you are serious about losing weight, jump onto what I'm on. I'm 3 weeks into it. It's the maddest thing I've ever been on. And then he did, eventually he's on it. And he I mean, I'll let him explain his story to you when it's time to do so. But I can tell you now, the changes it's making to him are he's again, things that I couldn't have put into words for him, because he needed, it's a personal experience. And he needed to go through that. And another lad who's joined just yesterday, as soon as his name popped, I was like, I know this guy. I used to know him. He used to work at a place I was, and I messaged him just today, and he's like, oh, it was you. And then he said the same thing to me, he's like, how come you weren't on the program? You weren't even big. But the last time he seen me was like quite a lot of years ago, to be fair. And I said, hang on a minute, have you been through the guides? How were you saying this to me? And he was laughing, saying, okay, everyone has their own level of fat.
And I think that's that thing, isn't it? Is that perception, like, if people sort of want to lose a little bit, it's just not always about the big losses for people. That, I've seen people that just sort of, they've got that 1 stone to lose, they've never been able to sort of get back to that drop. And it's just like, so it's not, for weight loss, it hasn't always got to be astronomical numbers. It can be smaller numbers, but it's still as important to the individual.
And that's, like I said, like 10 plus kg was never in my, it wasn't even in the frame. at the start of this. And the fact that it's happened is mad. And I keep having to stop myself because I am a little bit. There's an element of disappointment in here, which I'm really holding at bay because the belly, I wanted it to go a bit more. But I know that things, again, as Adam has mentioned many times, that fat, you don't choose where your fat gets burnt from.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's going to go from certain areas last. And, as luck would have it, looks like it's going to be my belly where it's going from last. But so be it. I know I'm on the right path to it, so I'm not stressing about it.
And especially if you've seen the reduction as well already now, just within that time frame of the program. But because now you're in control, you're going to get where you want to get because of the way you're doing it.
That's the funny thing. Like, if that people saw that first picture of mine, all the ones who say you weren't even fat, if they were to see that side view, they'd be like, all right, dude, fair enough.
You'll just show that to people on your phone. There you go.
Dude, are you sure I wasn't? It was embarrassing, dude. Like, it just don't feel right. And then, there were all these other elements to it. So the religious aspects of it. So as someone who believes in God and that God has given me a body, like I wasn't looking after it.
Yeah.
So it starts to play in your mind like, well, what am I doing here? But then in the pursuit of doing the right thing, holy moly, the things I've been down and the money I've spent, the insanities and the V-shreds, man, they all do go over. I mean, like, insanity, nearly destroyed my shins that did.
Oh, horrendous, yeah.
I mean, like, what is that? Like, ooh. And then V-shred supersets. I'm like the first day I was nearly in tears. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. It's just, and they're damaging people. Like some of these things that are physically, and you just think, well, and that's the thing, even from an investment point on the program, people invest on it, but obviously with all these other things that people have invested and not got anywhere, isn't it better to invest in something that is going to get you where you want to get, and then after you've finished it, you've got that with you for life. It's not just like the end of the program, right? You're done, and you suddenly think, I don't know what to do now. You know what to do beyond the program, which is the key element as well.
And that's the thing. What I love about it is just the whole non-reliance on pushing exercise. Because to be fair, for a lot of people who have got weight issues, by and large, those people have gone there. The people who never really had exercise as part of their lifestyle, and a lot of people aren't interested in it, and and it's fine. Yeah, that's what I love about this. It's fine to not be interested in exercise, even though that's not me. Like, I've always been an active person. I just wanted to know why the hell what I was doing wasn't working. Yeah, and now I can do it, with a lot more enjoyment and understanding. But even, like I said, like, for people who don't exercise, they just need the fat loss program. Yeah, and that's all they need, and it's sufficient because that is going to bring them within healthy and safe parameters.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, because everyone's target is different, isn't it? It's just that, that's the thing. Some people want to get, really sort of cut down on body fat to, like, to be able to walk on the bit. But then the thing is, if some people, they've got like a lot to lose, but then if it's 30 kg and they're still not maybe technically at their optimum weight, they're still imagine 30 kg less of carrying that around with you. Yeah. It's like that for your health is better on its own, isn't it?
Absolutely. And those programs like your Insanity, your Vision stuff, all they put as the ultimate goal is the most cut guy they can find. Yeah. As the coach. And it's like, that's your aim. It's like, come on, man. This dude's like 150 kilograms. Like, don't give him that as his goal, because especially if they've got no interest in exercise, it's already unattainable, because the dude's not going to go nowhere near the gym. Yeah. And if they do, they're going to hate it because they already hated it. So you're just making them do something they don't like. Yeah, and you're putting yourself through that, And
I think people feel that they have to punish themselves to get in shape, and you don't. If you really don't, but it's that belief, isn't it? It's that thing where it's like, insanity.
At no point in these 12 weeks did I feel like it was a chore. No point whatsoever. In fact, I remember coming back from a meeting, and it was like midnight, and I decided already early in the day that my breakfast the following day would be, the yogurt and the granola and the fruit. With a bit of honey, and I usually put it in a pot, because I use frozen fruit and stick it in the fridge. It literally takes like 2 minutes to prepare, and I know if I had been doing that with a different type of program, when I came home that night, the last thing I would have done is get that out of me. I sat down, go in bed, and then I've had a bowl of cereal in the morning.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't even a thing. Walked in, I didn't like midnight, whatever. I'm just quickly going to get this thing ready and then going to bed. Like it wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
You know, afterwards I thought about it, but whilst I was doing it, it wasn't like this is a chore. And it was just a normal thing to do.
And I think that's it. It's just changing those habits, isn't it? To where it becomes a habit that you don't think about doing. You just sort of just do it. And I suppose as well, you also know by doing it the good after effect of doing it. So you naturally, when you're going to do it, you think, oh, well, this is a good thing. I'm going to feel good for doing it. And I think that's the key. And I think it's, you know, people have created bad habits over a period of time. It's just going to take a few weeks just sort of to instill these new habits. And then obviously in the end, when you feel the difference, see the difference from doing that, that then reinforces that habit, because you think, well, why wouldn't I want to do that if I'm feeling and looking better? Well, I might as well keep doing it.
And also the fact that, you know, one thing I consciously did on this course was the thing that you are told to at the beginning, but can actually be quite hard in practice, which is forget everything you think you know, leave it, and just come in blank. Yeah. And just take on whatever's, you know, because it's a bit embarrassing now when you think about like the first things you said when I'd like my initial call with Adam and stuff, like, you know, oh dude, I know about calories and macros and stuff, it's just not worked, so how are you gonna help me? Like, I didn't know anything. But you know, but again, credit to you guys, you don't, there's like zero judgment. There's no body shaming, like, you've been doing it wrong, what's up with you, dude? Now you've come to me and I'm going to fix you. No. It was just, you know, it's just delivered in such a way, with such understanding and a way of guiding that it's just like I said, you don't even realize it. And then suddenly at the end, you're like, I've just learned this, and you know, it wasn't even like a conscious thing. It's just, you know, so dude, I mean,
that's really good.
I could probably wax on lyrical about this all day, man. You know, there's some, and I actually have to like hold myself when some people start talking about. I hate people talking in work about, like, I walked past the desk and someone was on a keto diet, and I had to restrain myself from just going, it's bollocks. Just eat in moderation. Stop being a muppet. You know, I had to like just do like. Leave them to it. And, you know, there's a lad eating salad, and he's like, my blood pressure's gone up again. And I'm like, dude, just eat things in moderation. He's like, yeah, I know, but salad.
It's like, I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stick to that. But yeah, I think that's it. And the thing is, it's just, I suppose it's one of the things I think people have got to be ready to make that step. But that it does educate you. That's the key to the program as well. It does educate people to the point where, like you said, now you're in control of where you are now. And so what's your sort of aims beyond the program now, would you say?
So the thing is, always from the start, and pretty much all my life, from like you know, my late teens onwards, I always wanted to have muscle and definition of that muscle. Now, there was a period in my late teens and early 20s where, where I thought I had muscle anyway. Now I'm like, okay. There was a bit of a chest, there was a bit of arms, but then the rest was just a bit flabby. So I just think, you know, well, like I said, this 12 weeks has made me realize that it's not too late to get that. Yes, I am pragmatic. I'm not gonna end up looking like if I was 20 and I was doing the same thing. I get it. Yeah, I can live with that. That's just the reality. I can accept reality, but I also know I can do it. So I basically want to achieve that. Yeah, I want to put muscle on, and with that, perhaps that will increase my overall kilograms. Not bothered, because I know it'll be done in the right way.
Yeah, it's the right weight, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but that's where I want to go to now, dude. To be honest, if I just carried on like this, ultimately it's no bad thing. You know, feel a little bit like, you know, it's kind of coming to an end kind of thing. But I'm like, well, it's not coming to an end, is it?
No, it's sort of got you to
it's carrying on for life.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing of it. Is because it's not one of these things where it's literally like 12 weeks and then you go back to what you were doing before. It's something you're going to take with you you know, and you're part of the community and stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, it's fantastic. And I think that's the thing, the community is a big thing as well. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's really good though. It's really well done though. Well done to you. Obviously, you've stuck and you've ticked every box, and that's the thing. You've ticked every box. You've made the changes, and obviously then it's reinforced it with motivation. And now you're at a point where you've finished the program, but you're comfortable where you're at, but you know the change you're going to make beyond the program, but you're in control of that, and you know you're going to get there because you're in control of your body.
Absolutely. That was it. That's all. Well, you know, everything that's been delivered has been way over what I wanted it being, because at the beginning, you realize at the end what you wanted at the beginning, you didn't actually really know what you wanted.
Yeah.
You didn't really, yeah.
But
so,
yeah, fantastic though.
So thank you, Colin. Honestly, thank you so much for
no worries at all.
answering the answers and everything. Whenever I message you, you always come back to me. There was never any signs of frustration or anything. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you, Colin. Take care, mate.
And you. Bye.